Drama today in the ancient city of Kano as government descended on traditional stool, removing Sanusi Lamido's Emir and replaced by a new Emir, Ado Bayero. And President Muhammadu Buhari has moved swiftly to rescue the economic situation in the country, which today was badly impacted by the crash in the price of oil, sets up an emergency committee. Hello everyone and welcome to the program. This is Politics Today live on Channels Television. I'm Sean Akimaria, Channels Television's Abuja office in the nation's capital. Welcome to the program, everyone. What a day it is in Nigeria's politics, especially when you talk about the traditional politics. We'll be saying on the politics of Kano State and what the decision of the Kano State government and the council decision and the impact of that will be. Stay with us, everyone. We're going to get the divide in this matter talking tonight on the program. But let's also give you an understanding of what has been an impactful consequence of the coronavirus on Nigeria's economy. There might be some trouble of some sort, considering that Nigeria rely majorly on income from oil. That's our mainstay, and now the coronavirus is impacted badly on global price of oil. It has crashed to about $30 or so per barrel from the benchmark of over $50. And so President Muhammadu Buhari set up a committee with a mandate to make a quick assessment of the impact of coronavirus in the country. The president asked the committee to urgently evaluate the effect of the virus on the economy, especially as it affects the prices of crude oil.
President, to discuss with him on the matter of the impact of the coronavirus on our economy. And Mr. President has formed us into a committee with the Minister of State Petroleum Resources, the Central Bank Governor, the GMD and MPC and myself as members. Our mandate is to make a very quick assessment of the impact of this coronavirus on the economy, especially as it affects the crude oil price. We will be writing a report and brief Mr. President tomorrow or Wednesday morning, and after that we'll also have more substantial information to the press. But it is very clear that we will have to revisit the crude oil benchmark price that we have of $57 per barrel. We'll have to revisit it and lower the price. Where it will be lowered to is the subject of the work of this committee. What the impact will be on that is that there will be reduced revenues to the budget, and it will mean cutting the size of the budget. The quantum of the cut is what we are supposed to assess as a committee. So this is just an initial update to inform you on the directives that we have, and that subsequently we will be sending a report to the President. And after that, we will now be briefing the press on the actions that government will be taken.
Let's now check out some stories that we are following for you on our political roundup.
The leadership of the All Progressives Congress APC in Yobe State has rejected the reported attempt to foist Bulama Waziri as the national secretary of the party on them. In a press conference held in Damaturu on Monday, the APC secretary in Yobe State, Abubakar Bukabe, says it is a right for Yobe State to produce an acting national secretary for the party pending the next convention. He noted the purported report suggesting architect Bulama Waziri as replacement of Governor. According to him, the purported report suggesting architect Bulama Waziri is the replacement of Governor Mai Mala Buni of Yobe State calls for a great concern. The state chapter of the party asked the National Secretariat not to allow such forces filled with personal and selfish agenda to draw the party to the path of self-destruction. The Court of Appeal sitting in Abuja has adjourned hearing of the appeal filed by Senator Ifeanyi Ubah of the Young People's Party, challenging the judgment that sacked him as a lawmaker representing Anambra South Senatorial District till Thursday, the 12th of March. A three-man panel of justices of the appellate court, led by Justice Stephen Ada, adjourned the matter after the lawyer representing Senator Ubah informed the court of some anomalies in the court records and also to enable some of the respondents file their processes. Amid calls from some quarters asking President Buhari to sack the service chiefs because of the deteriorating security situation in the country, a pro-military group is passing a vote of confidence on the Nigerian military. The group insists there's a need to rally around the service chiefs in order to enable them give the terrorists and other criminal elements the final push they deserve. Speaking at a news conference in Abuja, the group maintains that calling for the sack of the service chiefs at a time when the Boko Haram is about to be completely defeated is unpatriotic and does not show respect for the sacrifices that men and officers in uniform are making to rid the country of insurgents.
Thank you so much and welcome back, everyone. Let's now give you an understanding of what happened today in the National Assembly. The much anticipated social media bill public hearing held today in the Senate. Some very interesting positions were made by different people who spoke. Several people came up to the podium to speak for and against on the bill. But some people believe there is a need for such a bill. And these are some of the supporters of the bill. Take a listen.
Fake news that targets the military have serious impact on us as an institution, our operations, and personnel welfare. Internet falsehood can threaten unit cohesion, undermine military leadership, lower troops' morale, hurt the image of the service, and even harm personnel safety and that of their families.
If other countries are taking time to regulate the social media and its use and the way people go about dissemination of information, then we should agree that there is a problem. And if there is a problem, what is the solution?
Those are some of those who spoke for the bill, but there are others who, in their opinion, believe that the bill should be killed. Take a listen to them.
This committee, the Committee on Judiciary, Human Rights and Legal Matters, should entirely discountenance the bill. It is not salvageable, so any talk about amending the provisions of the bill to accommodate the presentations made here today, Mr. Chairman, is certainly not the view of a lot of us who are in this room, and indeed a lot of Nigerians.
Like the South Africans have after apartheid, that will have a bill like this standing at the People's Building here in Abuja. It would never have been considered. And it will mean that some of the people who have this kind of outdated ideas would never have made it to even our Senate. That is the truth. The final thing I want to say is that this bill is dead. We are here to bury it.
Interesting perspectives there. Well, that's a public hearing. We'll see what becomes of that bill when it gets back to the floor of the National Assembly. So let's get talking about our major conversation. And I'm taking you to the city of Kano, where we've been seeing and hearing loads and loads of controversial issues. Now, the Kano state government has removed the Emir of Kano. Apologies, please. Emir of Kano, Muhammad Sanusi II from office. Emir of Bichi, Aminu Adobayero, has been announced as the new Emir of Kano. The secretary to the state government, Usman Alaji, announced this earlier today at the Kano State Executive Council meeting, which held at a government house in Kano. Alaji explained that the state government took the decision to remove the traditional ruler over allegations of consistently refusing to abide by instructions given to him. According to him, the removal was in line with the recommendation of the Kano State Public Complaint and Anti-Corruption Commission, which summoned the Emir. Let's get a sense of what this means altogether for the politics of the northern region of the country, where a traditional ruler is being removed and replaced. Perhaps this is not the first time we're seeing, but for Kano, what does this mean? Kano said it's perhaps one of the large, politically speaking, as one of the largest voting population in the country. So let's get a sense of what this means. I'm being joined on the program tonight from our Kano studio by Mr. Abba Anwar, is the Chief Press Secretary to the Kano State Governor, and Dr. Yusuf Dambata, a former Commissioner of Budget in Kano State. Thank you so much, gentlemen, for coming on tonight. Let me begin with you, Mr. Dambata, Dr. Dambata. From what has happened today, how would you react to it? What is the mood like in Kano?
What we have seen today actually is a total manipulation of justice and a total disregard to the norms, rules of our constitutional right for our citizens. The governor of Kano State used every means, every power to dethrone the beloved Emir of Kano, Muhammadu Sanusi. And based on what we have witnessed today, it is a total disregard to the wishes of the people of Kano State. And he has already set a very dangerous path for our democratic norms and values in Kano State, a situation where governors can wake up in the morning and decide to remove emirs just like that without any cogent reasons. Because this drama was started early 2017 when the emir pronounced or made a very good suggestion to the government of the northern Nigeria. And it all started when the emir was saying, I quote, that imagine a state governor traveled to China, Republic of China, and spent 1 month, meaning 30 days, touring China, sightseeing, and doing everything. And imagine what he comes back with. Instead of the governor to come back with a multiple number of projects and investment to his state, the governor came back with a bag of debt. So the emir was cautioning state government under the tight economic predicaments which we are witnessing today in Nigeria. The emir was trying to advise the government. So I can imagine if a governor, a sitting governor, not only in Kano, anywhere in Nigeria, a sitting governor cannot take advice from the emir, what kind of governor are we expecting? And as a leader, you must open your ears to listen to the leaders, because emir is like a leader, because the emirate is the last hope for the common man. What we are witnessing today in Kano is a total disregard to our culture, to our religion, to our everything, because we have put everything and all our hopes on this emir. And I can say comfortably...
Dr. Dambata, sorry, apologies if I may butt in. Before we go on a break, you have not touched on the fact that the former emir was asked to appear before a panel, and the allegations against him by the state government. What about that? You're not looking at that?
You see, I look at all the corners, because if you are alleging that the emir mismanaged the emirate funds, you have to lay your cards right. What are the funds and where are the funds? Because I served as the Economic Commissioner for Government of Kano State, and I can tell you comfortably the deduction from the local government authorities, local government funding that are meant for the emirates. How much was that? And when was the governor of Kano State remit money to the emirate account? That was just fictitious and dubious allegation by Kano State Anti-Corruption. And also, if you are alleging that the emir sold what we call the Gandun Sarki, the land reserved for the emir. I had the opportunity to serve government of Kano State as the Commissioner for Land and Economic Planning. The so-called Ado Bayero city was anchored and initiated by the late Emir Ado Bayero. We have this plots in question.
Dr. Dambata, apologies. Let me butt in again. I'd like to butt in for a moment because we need to take a break. But when we come back, we dig deeper and look at both sides. We're still expecting the CPS to the Kano State Governor to join us on the program and give us a sense of what are the other reasons why the state government removed the former Emir Sanusi Lamido from office, and we'll see what the implications are. That's going to be next on the program, everyone. Join us again.
Yet the removal, dethronement of the Emir of Kano Emirate, Muhammad Sanusi Dethroned. The Emir of Kano is in total disrespect lawful instructions from the office of the state governor and the other lawful authorities, including his persistent refusal to attend official meetings and the programs organized by the government without any lawful justification, which amounts to total insubordination. It is on record, and in so many instances, Muhammad Sanusi II has been found breaching Part 3, Section 13A to E of the Kano State Emirate Law 2019, and which, if left unchecked, will destroy the good and established image of Kano State Emirate. The removal was reached in order to safeguard the sanctity, culture, tradition, religion, and the prestige of the Kano Emirate built over 1,000 years.
All right, you heard him there. That is the secretary to the government of Kano State, Umar Halaji, earlier today, giving the reasons for the dethronement of Muhammad Sanusi II, the now former mayor of Kano, perhaps one of the highest, the biggest traditional stool in the country. Today, we're getting reactions and some of the issues that have generated from that decision of the Kano State government. Let's get back to our Abuja, the Kano's studio, where Dr. Yusuf Dambata, the former commissioner of budget in Kano State, has been talking to us on this one. We're still expecting Mr. Anwar, who is the chief press secretary to the Kano State governor, who's made a promise to appear on the program, at least to give a sense of what the government is thinking in its action on this. Let's get back to, in the meantime, to our Kano studio with Mr. Dambata. From what has happened today, Mr. Dambata, has there been any kind of law that has been, there's any kind of illegality that has happened from the action of the government of the day? Did they go against any law? Because it looks so much that you oppose the decision of the governor and the council members.
I think what the government of Kano State did was to start with kind of convincing, or rather luring some guys outside the government to come up with a petition, so that the petition will now give room for the state legislators to institute a kind of investigation against the emir. And I can tell you comfortably that the Kano State Emirate Council has its own law, which was reviewed by the government of Kano State, and later somebody, or anonymous or faceless somebody, written a petition to Kano State Assembly, which was all challenged by the emirate, by the kingmakers, against the establishment of the 4 additional Emirate Council. In fact, what I'm trying to say is there was a drama between the cycle of Kano State government and the emirate. The governor of Kano State embarked on a very dramatic move to remove the emir. If he knows he wants to remove the emir, there is no need for him to expend the state resources by embarking on a very clear drama that is meant for the removal of the emir today.
Dr. Dambata, I mean, let's make this clear. You've explained the process of amending the law and some of those issues, but as it stands today, the action of the council members of the Kano State government, is it lawful or unlawful?
To my understanding, it's not lawful because the petitioner wrote a petition to Kano State House of Assembly on Wednesday. The Assembly read the petition before the floor, and a committee was set up to investigate the petitioner and investigate the emir. If found the emir wanting, then the State House of Assembly might recommend to the Kano State governor that, okay, we found the emir wanting in disregard to religion, culture, and other societal vices. Then suddenly on Monday today, State House of Assembly reconvened and now call for the committee of the whole so that they want to vote. Then probably there was a chaos in the State House of Assembly. While the chaos is taking place at the State House of Assembly, the governor called emergency meeting of the State Executive Council and now made announcement that they dethrone the emir of Kano. You see, Nobody is against
Okay,
the
so
dethronement of
let's
Kanu,
get it
but we
clearly
have to
again.
follow the
For a lot of people who are watching, you understand the politics of Kano State, and you perhaps are on this side of the divide against the government. But as it stands today, are you saying that the decision of the government today is perhaps a vendetta from what you're saying? Are you saying that is a vendetta from the governor against the Emir, former Emir Mohammed Sanusi II? Is that what you're saying?
I'm comfortable. This is a clear political vendetta against the Emir because, you see, Emir is a custodian of our tradition, is a custodian of our religion. So if you say you are accusing the Emir by violating tradition, religion, so you have to start thinking, what has he done? This is a man who promotes. This is a man who becomes our
difficulty connecting to getting some messages there as soon as we. Dr. Ambata, a former commissioner for budgets in Kano State, has been talking to us on the development of what has happened. Some of the issues that are generated today from Kano is the fact that there is a new Emir, Ado Bayero, is a new Emir of Kano after Muhammad Sanusi II was removed and dethroned from office today. Ado Bayero is Emir of Bichi, who has been announced today. If you are back there, let's get a final word from you, Dr. Dambata. What do you think is the implication of what has happened today? This is not the first time we are hearing or seeing a dethronement of an Emir. What is the implication of for the Kano people or for the traditionals too?
You see, what I'm seeing, the way I'm looking at it is we are setting a very dangerous path for our tradition, for our culture, and of course for our religion. A situation where every governor, if elected, will decide if the Emir is against me, maybe during electioneering campaign or for whatever reason, I have the constitutional power to remove Emirs. I think this is not a good path for our young democracy, especially for us in Kano State. 9th March reminds me of what happened 9th March 2019, when election was clearly won in Kano, and it was declared inconclusive. And today, the Emir legally or illegally, the Emir was removed by just following a political vendetta from the government of Kano State. So what we are seeing and what we are anticipating is the government of Kano State.
I guess it's a good place to drop it and a nice place to close the program because we are obviously out of time. But I must sincerely thank you for making our time to talk about this tonight. Following the development and the dethronement of Muhammad Sanusi II as the Emir of Kano, and Emir of Bichi, Aminu Ado Bayero, has been announced as the new Emir of Kano. Mr. Anwar, the Chief Press Secretary to the Governor of Kano, Abba Anwar, is supposed to be on the program with us. He agreed, but unfortunately at this moment, we still cannot have him on the program. But we close the program. Thank you so much, everyone, for watching. I'm Sean Kimbale from our Abuja studio. Bye-bye.